Welcome back to NCC News at 4 p.m. Thank you for staying with us.
Now let's get into the news from across the nation. An Arizona county is delaying the certification of November's midterm election results, putting 47,000 votes in jeopardy. Arizona's Secretary of State office is suing Cochise County over their failure to approve election results. The Republican majority in the county's Board of Supervisors says the delay was due to concerns over voting machines. Arizona Democrats say not certifying the election would violate state law and might disenfranchise Cochise County voters.
Tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail are expected today and tomorrow, all the way from the Gulf Coast to the Midwest. Louisiana and Mississippi will be hit the hardest as flooding is a risk in both states. The National Weather Service says this will put more than 40 million Americans under a marginal threat of severe weather. Officials are worried it could be difficult to alert people to take shelter because tornadoes will likely hit in the middle of the night.
And it's been 2 weeks since 4 students of the University of Idaho were found dead in a house near campus. Now, some students are returning to Moscow, Idaho after Thanksgiving break, but others have decided to stay home and finish out the semester remotely. This comes as the Moscow Police Department, Idaho State Police, and the FBI have not identified a suspect in their joint investigation.
But let's review what we know about these homicides so far. The 911 call was made by one of 2 surviving roommates in the late morning. Everyone was in the house, went out to the parties that night, but returned home before 2 a.m. The victims were asleep when the attacks began, but some showed defensive wounds. Police say it was a targeted attack, but won't explain how they know that.
And the World Health Organization is recommending a new name for monkeypox. The virus will now be known as Mpox after complaints over racist and stigmatizing language. The old term will be used alongside the new term for a year before being phased out.
The U.S. Federal Trade Commission and 7 U.S. states reached a settlement with Google and iHeartMedia over deceptive ads promoting Google's smartphone. The settlement stems from complaints alleging Google paid radio personalities to promote their use of and experience with the Pixel 4. The companies agreed to pay $9.4 million in penalties.
The Prince and Princess of Wales are in Boston this week to present the Earthshot Prize. The award ceremony is part of an environmental initiative launched by Prince William in 2019. In Boston, William and Kate will attend events focused on climate issues and social change, including a meeting with Caroline Kennedy and a visit to Harvard University. It will be the royal couple's first overseas trip since the death of Queen Elizabeth in early September.
Now let's move it over to Spencer Pierce, who has everything you need to know in the entertainment world today. Spencer?
Well, guys, earlier this month, Balenciaga dropped its holiday ad campaign featuring children holding teddy bears, but it's not what you would think. These bears were dressed in costumes and bondage. Now, backlash against the images has been quick, including celebrities like Kim Kardashian and athletes like Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp posting about the issue. It doesn't stop there, though. After further investigating, this is not Balenciaga's first offense in terms of pedophilia. In a separate ad, an Adidas bag was seen on top of a few seemingly harmless papers. Turns out those papers were from the court case of the United States versus Williams, a ruling that increased federal action against child pornography. Balenciaga has apologized as well as pulled their ads, but the damage has already been done. Now, new Twitter owner Elon Musk claims that Apple has threatened to remove Twitter from the App Store as part of its app review moderation process. In a thread of tweets, Musk claimed that Apple has pulled most of its advertising from Twitter. The App Store also has a 30% App Store fee, which Musk didn't take lightly. Apple isn't the only company that has pulled back their ads, though. Companies ranging from Volkswagen to General Mills have either slowed their ad spending on Twitter or stopped it altogether. Musk's rant is largely fueled by his attempt to shift Twitter from a heavily advertised space and more towards a subscription service-based platform. Now, sticking with Apple, Apple Music has released the top song chart of the year. At the top of the global songs list is Stay by The Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber. The hit song stayed atop the Billboard Top 100 for 7 weeks this summer, despite its release last summer. Joining at the top of the charts were As It Was by Harry Styles, one of my favorites, Wait For You by Future, Drake and Thames, Super Gremlin by Kodak Black, and Heatwave by Glass Animals. Hip-hop ruled over all other genres with 32 songs in the top 100, followed by pop songs with 23. Yesterday, Iran called for the United States to be kicked out of the World Cup after it changed the Iranian flag on social media to show support for its protesters. The U.S. team told CNN on Sunday that it wanted to change the flag for 24 hours to show, quote, support for the women in Iran fighting for basic human rights, but always planned to go back to the original flag. Iran media said that the U.S. should be kicked out of the tournament and banned for 10 games. U.S. men's team's coach Greg Berhalter said the team had no part in any of the social media posts. And there is some clear tension between these two teams off the field. And our sports reporter Matt Zumbolo will have us covered on what happened on the pitch. Now stay tuned.